You know, once you get that first out, he'll be fine. It'll be just like any other baseball game. But right now, the emotions are running high. He'll make that first pitch. I say be a little patient with him early just to see what he has.
Let's see the Indians starting lineup tonight, presented by Progressive. For Terry Francona, it will be Carlos Santana leading off once again as the DH. Jason Kipnis will bat second. Francisco Lindor, hitless in the series, will bat third. Michael Brantley, he's looking for hit number 1. He'll bat cleanup. Mike Napoli, who homered last night, will hit 5th. Yan Gomes batting 6th. Jose Ramirez, Marlon Byrd, and Tyler Naquin rounded out.
And our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher is the young 21-year-old rookie Jose Barrios. You see the minor league numbers. He was 2-0, a brilliant 106 ERA in his 17 innings, 20 strikeouts, 8 walks. And last year, pitched at AA Chattanooga, AAA Rochester. He combined to go 14-5 with a 287. You know, he had 175 strikeouts. So this guy is, he's earned it to get the start. They have a couple of guys on the disabled list. So Terry Ryan, the GM, says it's time for this kid to go out and shine. Let's check the defense behind him. It looks like this. In the outfield, Rosario is in left, Santana in center, Arcia in right. Sano at third, Escobar at short, Dozier is at second, Mauer at first, Suzuki doing the catching.
The umpiring crew tonight, Laz Diaz will have the plate. Ben Mays at first, the crew chief Jeff Nelson down at second, and Doug Eddings will be at third. And we're ready to go. Jose Barrios, first pitch in the big leagues is a fastball to the outside corner for strike 1. And that ball tossed out for Jose Barrios. Put that in the trophy case when the night is over. Fastball took off. And he can run that fastball up there in the mid to upper 90s. He'll also sink the fastball. He's got a very good curveball, but the changeup is a difference maker for him. Santana lines that fastball back into center field, and the Indians have a base runner to start the game.
Exactly what you want to do. Get them out of that stretch early. And then you say, welcome to the big leagues. Get that first base hit.
Keys to the game brought to you by Wayside Furniture. How will Barrios contain his nerves and the extra energy that you know he's got bubbling beneath the surface here tonight? And for Josh Tomlin, command and feel, that's the way he pitches. So we were 35 minutes late getting started here this evening. That pitch to Jason Kipnis is up and away. Jason Kipnis 2 for 9 in the series with a home run. Kipnis takes, Santana took off, and he's got the base stolen. I don't know if he surprised Suzuki, but he had trouble getting it out of his glove.
He double clutched. You know what? Would have been a lot closer had he been able to get it out of the glove, but watch how he double clutched, and you just don't think Santana's going to steal. You know what I mean? He's used to being a middle of the order hitter, but he gets that bag easily. So for Santana, his second stolen base, the double clutch from Suzuki, and there you go. You got a man on second, nobody out.
And now Kipnis trying to bunt him over to the third, but it's fouled up the third base line. A reincarnation of Kenny Lofton in the form of Carlos Santana. No, but you know, you made that point a year ago that Santana, he rarely gets thrown out trying to steal because he just waits for everybody to sort of forget about him.
Yeah, they fall asleep. They don't pay attention.
But I admire the fact that he recognizes that. He's just not standing over there like, well, they're not paying attention to me. He notices, and then maybe Sandy Alomar is telling him to go.
Well, you've got patience. And you pick a pitch, you pick a count. He knows the kid's out there in his first start. Element of surprise.
Now the 2-2 to Kipnis. And it's fouled over off the facing of the Twins dugout.
Well, that second swing and miss, it was a nice changeup that he threw to Kipnis on the 2-1 pitch.
Now the 2-2. And Jason just did spoil it.
Yeah, so he's probably about 10 miles per hour off of the changeup from the fastball. That one was about 6 inches to a foot outside. That one was in the right-handed batter's box.
Barrios was the 32nd overall pick just 3 years ago. And that 2-2 is bang foul.
Ouch, off his knee.
Ouch, he's right.
Better tape a glove to that knee.
Or get some knee pads.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Minnesota. You could dress him up like a hockey goalie.
Well, you could tonight, just to stay warm.
Santana in scoring position. Kipnis awaits the 2-2. And he got him with an elevated fastball. One down here in the first. But that was a perfect pitch as far as location. It's just above the hitting area.
Yeah, and he's got enough on it to get it by him. Check it out on our Nissan pitch tracker. Right there, inside corner, above the belt. You'll get a lot of hitters to swing and miss at that pitch.
Now, the one thing about Jose Barrios as he began his career in the Twins minor league system, and they watched him develop. When he was at A-ball and Doug Minkiewicz, former Twins first baseman, was his manager, he said he had trouble with the changeup because he was telegraphing it. He said he would literally, you could tell every time he threw a changeup.
Slow his arm down or something like that.
And he said it just wasn't a very good pitch for him. But he's developed, as we've seen here tonight, a very good changeup to go along with a terrific fastball. So when the Twins looked at him coming into the season, they said, look, he's got 2 swing and miss pitches before he even thinks about spinning one. And that curveball is also
very good.
Effective.
Yeah.
The 2-0 to Lindor, hit right at the third baseman Sano, who made a terrific diving stop, and Lindor is out number 2. Boy, Sano just took a knock away from Lindor with a nice diving play.
Yeah, well, let your defense help you out, and Sano does just that. Started in right field in the first game of this series, played third last night, makes a nice play right there. He's naturally a third baseman, but with Trevor Plouffe, you know, they re-signed him, so he's been playing third, but Plouffe is on the DL. Good play there to save a run.
Now let's see if Michael Brantley can hit his first hit of the year right here.
Well, he's been so good over the last couple of years in this situation. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Take a look at it. That's a .290 in his career. That's with 2 outs. That's excellent. That's the toughest hit in baseball. That 2-out base hit with a runner in scoring position.
Brantley, a chopper to second, and Dozier will flip it over to end the inning. So the leadoff hit does no damage, and the Twins are coming to bat. taking the mound for Cleveland tonight. Let's look at Paul Molitor's starting lineup for Minnesota. Danny Santana having a really good series at the top of the order. 4 out of 8 with a double will lead it off. Then it's Brian Dozier, Joe Mauer, Miguel Sano had the game winner last night. Byung-Ho Park will bat 5th. Oswaldo Arcia had the game winner in the series opener, batting 6th. Eduardo Nunez, Kurt Suzuki, and Eddie Rosario will bat 9th.
Josh Tomlin is our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher, making his 3rd start this year. He is 2-0 with a 1.54 ERA. And, you know, he got this road trip started off properly in Detroit. Got the win, 6 2/3 innings, gave up 4 hits and just the 1 run.
Danny Santana takes up and away, ball 1.
Josh is 2-4 in his career against the Twins.
Santana wraps one down the right field line. That's going to be a fair ball. Bird trying to cut it off. But Santana speeds into second base with a leadoff double.
So both leadoff men doing their job. The Santana brothers. This one starts it off with a double. Gets something belt high, and then he's able to turn on it and get it down the right field line. So Minnesota will start out with a runner in scoring position.
And that's going to bring up Brian Dozier.
Twins have been doing a good job, Matt, in the last 5 games with runners in scoring position, hitting .387, 12 for 31.
Dozier 4 for 9 in the series with a couple of doubles. And he fouls that pitch off. Dozier had a key hit in the series opener that got Minnesota rolling in their comeback win. One ball, 1 strike. Dozier leads Minnesota with 10 runs scored and 10 runs batted in. So not only is he a guy that can get on base and score, but if you're in scoring position, he's got a great chance to bring you home. Tom was pitching a little bit inside, 2-1. Topper right back to the mound. Tomlin with a brief misplay, but he recovers. And on the low throw, Napoli able to dig it out, 1 away.
Let's check out the Indians defense, brought to you by Jeep. It'll be Brantley in left, Naquin in center, Bird is in right. Ramirez at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis is at second, Napoli at first, Gomes doing the catching.
And what we just saw right there is something Tomlin's always done well, which is field his position.
Yeah, I was shocked that he didn't catch that ball, but he was able to get to it and still get the out.
But see, that's my point. How many times do you see a pitcher not make the play initially, then panic, and the next thing, the ball's still rolling down the right field line?
True.
Joe Mauer with a 7-game hitting streak.
7-game hitting streak, and he leads the league in on-base percentage, and he's reached base in all 21 games for the Twins so far this year.
He's already walked a dozen times.
And he has some pretty good numbers against Josh Tomlin. He's 7 for 16 in his career.
Mauer's actually walked 18 times overall. The 12 walks I referred to, 12 walks and 10 hits in his last 10 games. So you talk about that on-base percentage.
Yeah,
he's piling it up here.
He's having a typical Joe Mauer year, or off to a Joe Mauer start, we should say. And, you know, what's he, a .330 career hitter against the Indians? So we've seen him do that his whole career.
The 2-0. And that's a big reason why last night with the first base open, that's
Yeah,
why they chose to walk him.
Absolutely. And I would think that Tomlin's going to try and make his pitch a perfect pitch. And if he doesn't, he can walk him and then, you know, possibly go after Sano, the right-hander, and make his pitch. So I know he's not going to give in to him and say, okay, I'm behind in the count. Here's a fastball.
A little bit outside, 3-1. It's just rare that you're going to get Mauer unless you get ahead in the count somehow. You're not going to get him to chase or go outside.
He's like a Michael Brantley and has been for years. He's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. You can get him down to the count 0-2. He can work his way back into a count. He rarely goes outside of the strike zone to swing at bad pitches. Very disciplined guy. He'll take his walks.
So 2 on with 1 out. In this situation last night, Miguel Sano came up with the game on the line, and before he went up to bat, Oswaldo Arcia, who had hit the game-winning homer the night before, told him, you know, don't swing at the curveball, look for the fastball, and he said, let's get out of here. And Sano said, I did exactly what he told me. I wasn't going to swing at the curveball. I went, you know, looking for heat.
First 2 pitches he got were curveballs. Well, Arcia wanted to talk. He hit the home run, but he was swinging at changeups and curveballs all last night. Maybe he knew better.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly. He's looking for a double play ball because he's going to get a steady diet of off-speed pitches from Tomlin. But this is a big, strong man. See that, Tomlin?
Nice
that's your fastball you're going to get right there. This is a guy that is normally a third baseman. They're moving him to the outfield. And, you know, he's probably not a really good outfielder. He hasn't been out there, but he's going to have to work at it if he wants to get at-bats every day. And that's when they get Trevor Plouffe back, who was on the DL with an intercostal muscle pull.
Tomlin takes a look at Santana at second base. And Sano crunches one to deep center. Back is Naquin, still going back. He won't get it. It'll hop the fence for a ground rule double, so the Indians catch a break because Mauer will have to go back to third. But the Twins take a 1-0 lead as Miguel Sano absolutely tattooed that.
Well, that's an 0-2. It's a bad pitch, 0-2. Way too much of the plate from Josh Tomlin. He worked hard to get ahead in the count, and he spins one up there that doesn't break. And for one thing, he's lucky it stayed in the park, but actually it bounces out of the park, and the Indians catch a break over the head of Tyler Naquin. So Sano will give the Twins a 1-0 lead.
And now Byung-Ho Park, the batter who had 2 doubles last night. Ended up scoring 2 runs in Minnesota's 6-5 victory. He also hit a line drive right at Lindor. That was caught. So very easily could have had himself a 3-hit night. Just a little bit low. And a count 2-0.
Well, the Twins tied their season high in hits last night with 14. They did a lot of damage.
Swung on and missed at a ball in the dirt. So Park helps him out. He was a little overly aggressive 2-0.
Well, this guy, he likes to swing, and he swings it hard, but you know, you get the count in your favor, and he's letting it fly. But that's what you call guessing right there. Guessing a certain pitch is coming, and it doesn't matter what he throws, you're going to be hacking.
Right field. Bird will make the catch. Tagging is Mauer. He'll come home, and the throw to third is cut off. And it's a 2-0 Minnesota lead as Park picks up his 6th RBI on the year.
Well, certainly hit deep enough to right field, so they're able to spot the rookie. 2 runs right here, and hopefully Josh can end the inning here without allowing that third run to score.
Oswaldo Arcia will be the batter. Arcia is 1 for 8 in the series, but boy, that one was a big one. And he's got another knock to drive in a run right here. A 3-run first for the Twins. They get the 2-out RBI hit that has eluded the Indians at times in the series.
Looked like a slider to me. Trying to come inside. Boy, it was flat. You can see the pitches. He's been on the plate. Garcia gets that. He's a low ball hitter, and he gets that ball and just strokes it into the hole. So a big 2-out base hit. The Twins with 3 on the board in the first.
Well, that's going to bring up Eduardo Nunez. And Nunez looks at a strike on the outside corner. Tomlin had given up 2 earned runs, and that ball gets down the right field line. Arcia around second. He'll keep going all the way to third. So Josh Tomlin with a rough start to this one. Charged with a 2-base throwing error. I was about to say Tomlin had only given up 2 runs in his first 2 starts, but already has been tagged with 3 here in the first inning. I don't know what happened here, but that ball, I mean, Josh is usually very accurate on his throws to first base.
And he does throw over there a lot, but that one was not even close. It's one of those nights. Makes a bad 0-2 pitch right down the middle to Sano. Normally he's the calm one, and it looks like he's the rookie in this start.
Handles the comeback here. He'll flip it over, and that will end the inning. But Minnesota, with 3 hits in the first, score 3 runs, and they're out to the early lead. From last night, Mike Napoli in the clutch. Clobbered, and I mean clobbered, a home run for the second deck in left field. That tied the game, but unfortunately, Minnesota would come back and win it in their last at bat. Let's go to the second inning, and it will be Mike Napoli leading it off. Then Yan Gomes and Jose Ramirez to follow. Jose Barrios, the 21-year-old right-hander, he'll turn 22 1 month from today. Took off on him a little bit high. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick, and from the 7th inning on, he's had a big impact. Got hit by that pitch, and the Indians get their leadoff man aboard.
Hit him with the changeup after throwing him a couple high fastballs. So, leadoff man aboard. Take a look at it. On top of target field, you can see it goes off his arm.
In the dirt. Jose Barrios graduated from high school in Puerto Rico, and he was all set to go to Miami-Dade Junior College on a baseball scholarship. But before the school year was over, when he was a senior in high school in Puerto Rico, he threw a no-hitter against a Puerto Rican all-star team that featured Carlos Correa.
Oh yeah,
who would be a future #1 pick. And I think that caught the attention of a lot of scouts. And that's when the Twins made him the 32nd overall pick. Minnesota had what they call a compensation pick. Michael Kadire had left after the season in 2012.
Is that with Colorado?
I think that's when he went to the Rockies. And with that compensation pick, they made a very good decision.
Yes. Yeah, well, it looks like it to this point.
Low with the breaking ball.
You know, you couldn't ask for a better start for him. You go out there, you give up a leadoff single, but then he retires the next 3 batters. Your team comes in and puts a three runs on the board for you, so you can go out there and breathe a little easier.
Well, Yan Gomes trying to get the Indians jump started here. And the 2-2, breaking ball was inside, but he was just fighting it off to make sure he could stay alive.
Yeah, this ball was way inside, and I mean, it looked like it was going to hit him, but he just get out of my kitchen. Stays alive.
Gomes shoots it foul on the right side. You saw a shot a moment ago of Twins general manager Terry Ryan. And as far as the future of Barrios, Terry Ryan said, you know what, it's up to him whether or not he stays in the rotation or goes back to the minor leagues. So obviously if he pitches well, he's going to stay in it. And Terry said, I'd like that because that means he's pitching well if he stays.
Right, no question. He's going to get the opportunity. They put Gibson and Irvin Santana, 2 starters, on the disabled list. Comes back inside. Now you see that pitch was, it might have been a little bit in off the plate, but he swung at one that was even inside more than that. That breaking ball that's, you know, that he stayed alive with. That was a good pitch, but maybe just a little inside.
And Gomes pops it up on the infield. Dozier, the second baseman, makes that catch. 1 away. Our player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. And Jose Barrios, I told you, he'll turn 22 next month. And the thing that they talk about with Barrios is his crazy work ethic. I guess in the off season, he's literally, and this isn't one of these guys who talks the talk, he walks well. He's in the gym 6 days a week. He just has an abundance of energy. and he's got that drive. You know, we talked about it with Lindor. He's not just happy to be here. He's got the drive to want to be great.
Got to succeed.
They feel like Barrios has that same sort of inner drive. He doesn't want to just get here. He wants to be great.
Usually the good ones do. You know, you're not happy just getting there. And that's what you have to do to succeed at this level. You may be good, but you want to get better.
Well, Irvin Santana, who broke into the big leagues when he was 22 years old, said in spring training, I think he's ready. I think he's got swing and miss stuff. He's got all the tools. Santana is on the DL right now for Minnesota, but I think he obviously knows a thing or two about pitching and what it takes. Watching him this spring, he felt like this guy's time is here.
Well, this would be a shot in the arm for the Twins if this guy can come up and pitch like they think he's capable of doing.
Right now, the Indians need a shot in the arm offensively. Jose Ramirez was 2 for 4 in the series opener, did not play last night. Marlon Byrd to follow with Napoli at first base with 1 away. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. And a comebacker. Barrios goes to second. What a pick! His shortstop Nunez saved him an error and got him an out.
He sure did. That he rushed it a little bit. You know, he was trying to be so quick to get the double play. You have to make sure you get the first one. But Nunez did a nice job of picking it, and he wasn't even going to throw it. But his foot is on the base, and then he realized now maybe he didn't have a grip, or he realized that Ramirez was down the line. He didn't throw it, so he saved his pitcher. That's where the game speeds up on you a little bit instead of, you know, just making sure you give a good feed.
Now Marlon Byrd, 2 for 5 with a double in the series. He started game 1, came on as a pinch hitter last night for 1 at bat. Breaking ball missing for ball 1. Byrd smokes it to deep center, but not deep enough. Santana will make the catch. And the inning is over. So the Indians have had their leadoff man aboard in the first 2 innings, but can't do anything with it.
Live with MLB.com at-bat app. You can stay connected all season long with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Bottom of the second inning, Kurt Suzuki will lead off for Minnesota. Ball one to Suzuki, who's 2 out of 6 in the series with a couple of runs batted in.
See if Josh can go back out there this inning and get his feel back and have a quick inning.
Low and away. Now the 2-0. And that's hit hard between third and short. Diving stop by Ramirez. Gets up and a perfect throw to get him for out #1.
Boy, what a nice play that was. Jose ranging far to his left. Watch him get his jump. 1, 2, his third step. He catches that ball. He gets up, plenty of time. He didn't rush. Makes a nice throw over there. Very good play. Takes a hit away from Suzuki and helps out Tomlin.
Now Eddie Rosario batting out of the 9th hole. And Tomlin nicks the outside corner with a strike. Well, it took 7 innings, but the White Sox have finally dented the scoreboard in Toronto. They lead the Blue Jays 3-0. It's fouled out of play. White Sox trying to go to 16-6 and run their win streak to 6 in a row.
Yeah, Quintana's pitching tonight against Estrada. At least that's what the 2 starters were. They're looking to sweep Toronto. I think they're off tomorrow.
Swung on and missed. And Rosario down on strikes. First K for Tomlin, 2 down. Arcia in the driver's seat. Shows you that Josh Tomlin, after an Indians loss, has pretty much been money in the bank up until tonight. He's 9-0 with a 2.19 ERA. But he spotted Minnesota 3 in the first. And now he's got to try to hold them at bay.
Yeah, keep them right there.
High fly ball center field. Naquin moving back on to the warning track. Makes the catch. Boy, he had to run a long way. But he pulls it down and the Twins go 1-2-3. One tonight. Stay tuned later in the game for Miller time. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. Here in the third, Tyler Naquin, Carlos Santana, and Jason Kipnis due up for the Tribe. Jose Barrios, 2 scoreless frames under his belt. He's given up 1 hit. He's walked 1, struck out 1. The Indians have had their leadoff man aboard in the first 2 innings. But, you know, Rick, you talked about it in our opening segment. The Indians are a team that, while certainly they've got some guys who've hit some home runs this year, but primarily for them to score consistently, they've got to get them on, get them over, get them in. And when you get your leadoff man aboard, they've got to look. I know you're not going to execute every single time, but that's where that great focus has to be right now.
Santana did his job as the leadoff man. He stole second.
Yeah.
Gave himself an opportunity, got himself in scoring position. They couldn't get a base hit. Well, you're just going to go, this is the last batter, and then you'll flip over to the top, and they'll have an idea. They'll go the second time through the lineup, and they'll have a better idea of what this guy is throwing.
Tyler Naquin fouls it off. Andre's trying to pick it up.
Looks like he's dressed to build some snowmen. Look at him.
He wasn't that bundled up when we were covering high school football in December.
Yeah, winners. It started in April this year.
Yes, it did. Well, Naquin's in the hole, 0-2. And Barrios ran a fastball upstairs. He's able to check.
That's the pitch he tied Jason Kipnis up with his first at bat, a fastball above the belt on the inside part of the plate.
Just outside with a heater, and the count evens up at 2-2. Naquin, nice job to just spoil one. You look at Jose Barrios, and from a build standpoint, very similar to Danny Salazar of the Indians. Both guys barely 6 feet tall, but they got that power arm. And 6 foot is generally the cutoff for right-handed starting pitchers. You don't see many, if any, that are under 6 feet tall. Now the payoff to Naquin. And it's fouled out of play. Tyler 2 for 3 with a double in the series. And he draws a walk. What a job he did.
Yeah, nice at bat. Down 0-2 and ends up working the walk.
So here we go, Rick. 3rd straight inning. The Indians have that leadoff man aboard. And now, as you say, what can the Indians do in terms of adjustments second time around against Barrios?
Well, at least they have an idea of, you know, how hard he's throwing that fastball. If there was any movement to it. Most guys got to see a changeup. A couple of guys got to see the breaking ball.
And that was one of the rare curveballs we've seen him throw tonight. Pitch way outside, and the count 1-1. And that breaking ball catches the outside corner. And it's 1-2. You know, the nice thing for Barrios is he's got a veteran catcher who certainly knows his Indians lineup back there.
Well, that was a well located pitch. She caught just the outside edges. It's coming back to Suzuki.
All off speed pitches though in this at bat for Santana.
Santana hit the fastball first at bat. They know it, so started them off changeup, a couple of curveballs. Now we go fastball in.
And that fastball smoked to right field. Naquin will hit second. He'll head to third, and he'll get in there easily. And the Indians have runners at the corner. So Santana just patiently biding his time, waiting until he got that fastball, and then he turned it loose.
Well, he didn't miss it either, but he left that one hit too much of the plate. You can see right down the middle, Santana jumps all over it. Too bad he couldn't get that one elevated. That was just a good line drive stroke. But they do something with that leadoff man. They now go first and third, so a good chance for the Indians to get on the board and cut into the lead.
Mike Sarbaugh going over the situation with Naquin. Nobody out. He's at third base. And Jason Kipnis the batter.
He's telling him on a line drive, you stay right here. Anything on the ground, you're going. Fly ball, come back and tag up.
Throw over, and back with the dive is Santana. It's funny, I was thinking, you know, those are all things that you should probably know, and Naquin probably does know. But as a young player, the game moves fast. It's nice to be reminded of the situation. Kipnis taking it to strike 1-1.
Well, you can see this guy has the nice combination of a good fastball, good changeup. He's not afraid to throw that changeup in different counts either.
And that curveball hung up outside. 2-1. I wonder for both pitchers, the conditions, it's cool, not too breezy, but might not be ideal to get the feel for a breaking ball on a night like this. We'll see how it plays out. The 2-1. Fastball fouled right back. That one got down the middle of the plate, but it was elevated enough that might have got away with it. Tyler Naquin, who led off the inning with a walk, he's at third base. Santana over at first. And the 2-2 is lifted over toward the line in left field. Rosario into foul ground, can't get to it. And Kipnis will get to see at least another pitch. There's a decent amount of foul territory, not a lot, but once you get down the line, it disappears, like it's almost non-existent.
Right. That's just a few feet once you get out there for about 30 feet towards the wall.
Jose Barrios, the 21-year-old right-hander, with a 2-2 pitch, and Kipnis spoils another good one down low.
You know, making him work, trying to do whatever. It was a good at-bat by Naquin to get the inning going. He was down 0-2, worked his way onto first base with a walk,
And he swung and missed. Barrios strikes him out for the second time tonight. 1 away.
Well, 2 strikeouts. Both have been Jason Kipnis. Good curveball. Well located. Has him out in front. Comes up empty, so remains first and third now with 1 out.
You know, you look at Barrios in his first 3 starts in the minor leagues. This year he went 5 innings, 5 innings. Last time out he went 7 innings. And that's not just because they're being careful with him. Lindor shoots one toward left center field, and it is in the gap. It'll go all the way to the middle of the warning track. Naquin scores. Santana going to be waved around. He is going to score 2. Twins kind of botched the relay, and the Indians take advantage. They get a couple in on the double by Francisco Lindor.
Looking at Santana, it looked like he hit third base. Funny. I'm not sure he stepped on it. Yeah, you know what? He sort of caught it. I think he was shocked, and he might have hit it the wrong way. And I'll tell you, Lindor did a beautiful job to hit that changeup and stay with it, and it gets into the gap, and they overthrow their first cutoff man, or they would have had Santana. The trailer is Dozier there, but Santana comes in hobbling, and it's the way he hit third base. So back in business are the Indians. Lindor, 2 RBIs on the double.
Indians cut it to a 1-run game. Santana DHing tonight, so he won't have to go back and stand in the field. They'll be able to take a good long look at him and maybe get him a little treatment between now and his next at bat. In the meantime, Michael Brantley steps in with Lindor at second and only 1 out. And he takes low and away, ball 1.
Let's check him out coming around third base. It looked like he stumbled right there. The long stride. And he comes in. I don't know. I didn't see anything really where he twisted his ankle or anything on the base.
Looked like he was overstriding, maybe trying to hit that bag.
Yeah, took that extra step.
Michael Brantley takes a strike, 1-1. 3-2 our score here in the 3rd inning. And Santana gonna go get looked at.
Yeah,
he looks like he's in pain.
I'm telling you, there's something. I don't know what happened. I just thought he hit third base funny.
Yeah, it looked like that stride right before he got to the bag. He was trying to get his steps lined up.
Sometimes, you know, when you're looking up or you take your eye off him, maybe he was looking at Sarbaugh waving him around, and then he looks down, and you got to really had to extend to reach third base. Let's hope he's going to be okay.
And the 2-1 is fouled out of play to the left. So Lindor, the tying run at second base. And the 60th pitch of the night is fouled off first base side. That was the point I was trying to make about Barrios. It's not. Let's take another look at the Santana play.
There's the yeah, there it was right there, right out in front. You know what?
Sure,
I think he landed on his toe. It was close, but he really extended it out there, and it looked a little wobbly. That looked like it was the right foot.
Strike 3 called. 3rd strikeout of the night for Barrios. 2 down.
Little breaking ball here going away. It comes in on the outside corner. Let's check it out. High atop. Ooh, boy, that's a perfect pitch. I'll tell you, that angle right there, you see where it comes in, right on the outside edge. Man, tough pitch.
So Barrios has made a lot of pitches in each of his first 3 minor league starts this year. And he's making a lot here tonight in his major league debut. That's why he hasn't been able to get deep into games. Looks like Diaz hearing it a little bit from the Indians dugout. That's strike 2. Now, in the minor leagues, you might say, well, the reason he threw a lot of pitches, guys couldn't put his fastball in play, and maybe he fouled it off and made him throw a lot of pitches that way. But here tonight, he's thrown a lot of strikes, and he's thrown a lot of pitches. He gets out of the inning by striking out 3, but gives up a pair, and the Indians are right back in the ballgame thanks to the 2-run double by Francisco Lindor.
Season tickets are still available and include 8 different plans. When you buy a prorated 20-game plan, you'll get up to 12 games for free. Visit Indians.com season tickets for more details.
For the Twins here in the 3rd inning, Brian Dozier, Joe Mauer, and Miguel Sano due up. And Dozier looks it outside, ball 1. Dozier had a little comebacker to Tomlin his first time up. Now he bunts one right up in the air, and Yan Gomes puts the squeeze on it, 1 away. The way this guy can swing the bat, he kind of does you a favor when he tries to.
Well, you know what happened? It's the element, but when you make an out like that, it really upsets you as a hitter when you just pop it up. You feel like you've just given an at-bat away. I see what he's trying to do is get that first leadoff man on and element of surprise, but boy, it upsets you.
He could do that really well, Molitor, occasionally. Lay a bunt down.
Yes, he could. I watched him do it a couple of times when he had his 39-game hitting streak and he was looking for a hit.
Mauer sends a comebacker by Tomlin, but Lindor scoops it up and throws him out. 2 away. The injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Travis d'Arnaud has a shoulder problem, the Mets catcher, so he's down. Joaquin Benoit, after leaving Cleveland, had to go on the DL. Charlie Morton tore his left hamstring, so the Phillies pitcher is done for the season. So after what we just saw with Carlos Carrasco in Detroit, you have to feel pretty fortunate that Carrasco is only out hopefully a month, maybe a little more.
Yeah, well, best case scenario, you're right.
Miguel Sano looks at a ball outside. RBI double to straightaway center field his first time up.
Yeah, Josh made a mistake on that pitch to Sano. He left one too far over the plate.
Great diving stop by Ramirez, and he throws him out. Boy, Jose playing some spectacular defense here tonight. He's made a pair of outstanding plays. Of the Minnesota Twins. Looks like those folks came in from North Dakota State University.
Well, they brought the right equipment. The blankets, the hoods.
Yan Gomes to lead it off for Cleveland here in the 4th inning, and Jose Barrios delivers down low, ball 1. Missed inside, 2-0. Barrios in his career in the minor leagues had a record of 38-20. And he's 3-0 to Gomes. Hasn't walked anybody yet. He did hit Mike Napoli with a pitch. On a 3-1 pitch, it's banged to the shortstop area, but it's the second baseman Dozier with the shift on who makes the play. One down here in the 4th. Time for an in-game update. Here's Al Pawlowski. Well, that was Sonny Gray starting for Oakland tonight.
I think he only went a couple innings in that game.
Sonny Gray went 2 innings, gave up 4 runs on 2 hits. A rain delay or something?
No. No, I don't think so. Gave up a 3-run home run, I think, to JD.
That's really weird, though. 4 runs on 2 hits in 2 innings, and that's it.
Couple walks.
You get the yank. 4 walks. Oh, well, that'll do it. Pop back out of play. Meanwhile, Justin Verlander 6 in the 3rd. Gave up 2 runs on 5 hits, walked 2, struck out 6. Ramirez shoots it down the left field line. Over to try to cut it off is Rosario. He will. Ramirez is going to try for two. Here's the throw. He is out of there.
Well, Rosario's got a good arm in left field. He had a number of assists last year. He was in the teens. He was right there up in the lead. Ramirez didn't stop. He just kept right on running. I mean, I can see him turning around but stopping after he gets about a third of the way. But it was also a nice pick by Dozier and a good tag to help out his partner in left field. He's got a very good arm. Watch the short hop pick and now applies a tag, but he was out by plenty.
So 2 down. And Marlon Byrd shoots it off to the right side foul. That was a good breaking ball.
Yeah.
One of the better ones he's thrown tonight.
Well, and it was effective because that last pitch he got way inside on Bird, who fouled it off, so he had to be looking in there to start, and then a perfect curveball.
And Bird fights that one off, got a piece, and he'll get one more opportunity at least. He's thrown 49 strikes out of his 77 pitches. And Bird is rung up by Laz Diaz. He's not in agreement there, I don't believe. That's 5th strikeout of the night for Barrios. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, 3-2 Minnesota. Continues Friday when the Tribe heads to Broad Street in Philadelphia to take on the Phillies. Indians Live starts our coverage at 6:30, and on all of the play-by-play action at 7 right here on Sports Time Ohio. It's all presented by Meyer. Young Ho Park drove in a run with a sac fly in the 1st inning. Josh Tomlin's pitch slow and away. Tomlin might have found a little something because he's retired 7 in a row. That 1st inning was rough for him. Got some nice defense though from Jose Ramirez at third base to bail him out.
Yeah, well, back-to-back innings, the leadoff hitter in the second, and then the final out in the third.
Park wails away, and the count 1-2. Chop to third. Here's Ramirez again. This time a routine play, and he takes care of that one away.
Yeah, he was able to stay on his feet this time. Didn't have to go on his belly and make the play. But I'll tell you what, there he was back in the second inning. Take a hit away, and then Sano to end the third inning. Nice plays. So he's had a little action over there at third base tonight. Normally we see him out in left field.
And Oswaldo Arcia takes a strike.
Yeah, Josh made just a couple of mistakes in that first inning where he got too much of the plate. And they were able to take advantage of it, and that's what happens when you get that leadoff double.
Two quick strikes on the Twins right fielder. See that shift on, 3 to the right side. It's outside. 1-2. With the shift on, Kipnis has to really charge in to make that play. 2 down.
Let's go back to that first inning, and here you'll see the location. There's a ball belled high middle of the plate that Santana starts the game off with a double. An 0-2 pitch there to Sano. Drives it to center field, and he drove in one. And then you see Arcia drove in that third run with a ball that had just a little too much of the plate. But after that, it has been a breeze.
Pop back to the screen. Well, the Atlanta Braves are getting tattooed at Fenway Park by Boston, but Freddie Freeman has hit a home run. That ends a 15-game homerless drought for the Braves.
How about that?
15
yeah,
games
isn't that something?
Ooh. The 1-1. Right field, back goes Bird, still going back, makes the catch on the warning track to retire the side. Josh Tomlin has retired 10 Twins in a row. Ball is brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by T-Mobile. Get major league coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year. Now Francisco Lindor providing some punch for the Indians tonight. 2-run double to get them to within a run of Minnesota as we go now to the 5th inning. It'll be Tyler Naquin to lead it off, and that's when the Indians got to Barrios in that 3rd inning. It was Naquin who led off with a walk, and then Santana, Kipnis, Lindor, Brantley were the next guys to come up. Now he still ended up striking out 3 in the inning, but the Tribe was able to manage a couple of runs. Three and 0. Here we go again, maybe. First time up, Naquin had a really good at bat. He fouled some pitches off. He hung around, taking all the way 3 and 0. And you can see Barrios just kind of laid a fastball in there at 90 miles an hour. (3-1) and Naquin lashes it into left field for a base hit.
Keeps his hitting streak going. What's it at, 8 now?
I just like the way he's played the game.
Yeah,
you know, Rick.
you know
not
what?
Trying to do too much. He's staying within himself.
Well, he did a good job to get the inning going back in the 3rd with the walk after he was, I think, 0-2. Now a base hit here. He had the count in his favor, take it the other way. So a good start to this inning.
8-game hitting streak for Tyler Naquin. What about Carlos Santana in this leadoff spot? Let's go down to Andre.
A lot of talk about it, and I know you guys are astute. He's 7-12 in 5 games with a home run, is still 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, and 0 walks. That surprised you guys?
Strange. That's one of the reasons Terry put him in there, because of his ability to take pitches, work counts, draw walks. He draws a ton of walks. Andre, could you tell anything down there? Does it look like he's okay from that mishap at 3rd base?
Yes, it seemed like he was all right. They rubbed a little bit on that hamstring and looked at that a little bit. But he came back out here about, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, and he was walking much better than he was prior to that. It could be a toe injury or something, but it's cold as well. I think that bag's probably pretty hard right now.
Well, and it just looked like he maybe overextended on the stride too, going into the base. But
so you said it might have been a hamstring?
No, well, they rubbed on it for a minute. They looked at the entire leg. I'll put it that way.
1-0 pitch up and away, 2 balls, no strikes. This is
what
coming
we're
around
talking
3rd.
about. Watch the extension on that right. Looked like he had to leap for it, but he was still running well after it. There was something there, but well, he's back in there. So, and he hit 2 fastballs. He's 2 for 2. So we'll see how they go at him if they show him that fastball away and attack him with change-ups and curveballs.
I don't think he wants any part of them.
Well, he better, because there's nobody out. You'll be putting that tying run in scoring position.
3-0 to the 2nd straight hitter, and that's ball 4. And the Twins have their bullpen up as he closes in on 90 pitches for the night. Michael Tonkin, who last worked Sunday in Washington, he gave up the game winner, I believe, in the 16th inning.
Yeah, he did. He sure did.
Well, with Barrios closing in on 90 pitches, that's about the most pitches he's made this year, 94, I think, in the minor leagues.
Yes, he's averaged 90 pitches per start, basically. Now, the thing is, his nickname is the Machine, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I would think a machine could throw more. But 91 is about the high. Then, like you said, 94 is the high, 91 is the average. But we all know, and I had a couple players on the Indians say they don't want to go in their bullpen right now. That bullpen is pretty beat up for the Twins at this point.
I'm sure it is, but that's you got to remember, a 21-year-old machine, and they don't want to wear it out too quickly.
That's exactly right. They're going to take all the precautions because they think this guy. I mean, some people, and I'm not talking about Twins personnel, but I've seen some people speculate with reports that he could be a right-handed Johan Santana for Minnesota. Now, that's pretty lofty praise, but I think the pitch combination with a changeup that's really good with a good fastball, certainly at his age, he's got a chance to be good for a long time. The 1-0. And Kipnis fouls it back out of play. But for Berríos, the same thing we've said with Santana and with all the young pitching that the Indians have. The consistency, that level of consistency, can he bring it every 5 days at the major league level?
That takes a while to learn how to pitch at this level. It's not an easy thing. It'd take a couple of years, but he has the stuff.
He's been able to just elevate the fastball enough to where Kipnis can't quite get to it. It's just up out of the hitting zone. It looks good coming in, but by the time Jason commits to it, it's probably letter higher. And that's way out of the zone. 2-2. And a foul right back.
I send along our congratulations to John and Hermina Pugel, celebrating their 70th anniversary from Amherst, Ohio. So, John and Hermina, congratulations.
Two-two pitch, and Kipnis smokes it to right field. Over to cut it off is Arcia, but scoring the tying run is Naquin. Santana stops at third, and Kipnis into second base with an RBI double. Oh, he finally got one to handle, and he didn't miss it. He roped it into the right field corner. And the Indians bringing the lumber against Berríos here in the 5th inning.
Ends up throwing him a slider, and it speeds up his bat. He was able to throw the fastball by him a couple of times. He tried that breaking ball, and he didn't locate it, and Kipnis is going to get the double. That's our Yellowwood bringing the lumber right there. They tie the ball game up. They still have runners at second and third, nobody out, and that's going to do it for the young man. Paul Molitor going to go out to the mound and take him out, so he's only going to go 4+ innings. 4 innings plus 3 batters.
Paul Molitor will make the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. They had a lefty and a righty. It looks like the lefty will be coming in for Minnesota. Nice hand for the 21-year-old as he goes off in his major league debut here tonight. He gives up 3. He's responsible for the 2 in scoring position. And we'll be right back to Target Field. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Twins came out swinging in the 1st inning. They scored 3 off Josh Tomlin. But the Indians would fight their way back in the third. Francisco Lindor with a 2-run double. And then here in the fifth inning, Jason Kipnis ties it up with a double into the right field corner. And now the Indians have the tying or the go-ahead run 90 feet away. And Jason Kipnis is at second base with left-hander Fernando Abad coming in.
This guy's done a nice job making his 10th appearance.
Lindor goes chasing.
Bob pitched 2/3 of an inning in the first game of the series. Gave up a hit, had a strikeout. Right here trying to minimize damage. Indians second and third. You'd like to see a ball get him in and get him over. But now Francisco, he's down in the count 0-2.
Just a bit outside.
Take a look at it. You can see just a little bit off that plate. Suzuki trying to bring it back and get some help from Laz Diaz, but doesn't work.
Man, Lindor didn't want to take another one. That was too close.
You know what? I don't blame him. That's one you just try to foul off. You don't want to leave it into the hands of an umpire, you know, when it's too close to take.
Not with two guys in scoring position either.
Yeah.
Oh, Lindor trying to get the run home. He will.
That is perfect, man. You get the changeup down and away. You hit it to the right side. You get the RBI. You get Kipnis over. That's a great job right there. And he was fooled on the pitch. He picked that ball up off the ground. That is just protecting, doing whatever you can do. Great job. Great job. So they take the lead, and they have an opportunity to add now with one out.
The infield will be drawn in for Minnesota as the Indians are in front now 4-3. And Brantley takes a strike. Brantley grounded out in the first inning. Called out on strikes in the third. Catcher Kurt Suzuki wants timeout.
Thought I saw a changeup.
Missed inside with whatever it was.
Must have been a fastball.
Again, the infield drawn in, cut of the grass around the horn. Oh my, that's called a strike. Very close to the same pitch he just threw before.
Take a look at it again from that camera high atop, and it's, yeah, it looked like it was a little bit inside, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was about probably the same pitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If you're going to call a ball once,
well, you're right. That's what you look for.
And Michael shoots that out of play to the left. That's where he is, I think, a real problem for pitchers. When you can go in extreme to get a strike, then you figure, okay, there's no way he's going to look and be able to get to anything away, and he still is able to do that.
Yeah.
He can cover the entire plate, which not many can.
Well, he stays back so well. You rarely see him out on that front footer trying to pull anything. He just reacts to something on the inside part of the plate. and just not a lot of movement, no matter how he swings, whether it's inside, outside. Good plate coverage.
Said the best birthday present he ever got was when his dad gave him a batting cage when he was about 12 years old, 13.
Oh, yeah.
It was an old batting cage that I think his dad might have been working with the Mets at the time, and they were getting rid of one, so his dad bought it for cheap, brought it home, gave it to Michael, and he said he still uses it to this day. They've had to replace some parts.
Oh, I'm sure.
Now the 1-2.
Well, he's fouled off some very good pitches. That was the change up there. He's throwing everything at him. Fastballs in, breaking balls away, change ups. And this could very well be Abad's last hitter, trying to come in here, and if he could get this out, that would be trying to minimize the damage, but Brantley's just trying to regroup. This could be one good thing that he needs for his confidence, a long at bat, give him opportunity, but get the job done.
A foul by Brantley. They hit him while he was in the box, so another opportunity.
Big, slow breaking ball, but just gets a piece. And as a pitcher, you're saying, my goodness, will you put one in play? I'm making some great pitches on you, and I can't get you out.
Well, he's thrown 10 out of 12 pitches for strikes. And that one, Brantley able to lay off. And it's 2-2. Good job by Suzuki to block that ball, because you've got Kipnis down there at third. He's looking for one that maybe gets away. And Suzuki's probably thinking along the same lines with Abad. Let's try bouncing one, see if he'll swing.
Exactly. You do. I mean, when a guy's fouling everything off, you do bounce one or throw one up in his eyes.
Well, now the 2-2. And a breaking ball is pulled just foul. Boy, that was close to going right over the bag at first. But Ben May was right on the line.
This is what Brantley needs. He needs a good long at bat, and he's getting one here. And this is a terrific battle between the lefty.
That ball was foul the whole way, but it didn't really deviate from its initial path. It stayed true right down that line. With those infielders in, they don't have a whole lot of time to react if he hits one hard.
Beautiful
He hits one
job.
hard and
Great
deep
job.
to left. Rosario over. He misplays the ball. It'll drop, and Brantley will go to second as Kipnis comes home to score. We'll see how it's ruled, but it might be an RBI double for Michael Brantley. As Rosario went back, he just seemed to lose track of the baseball. He overran it or played it too deep.
He was sitting behind it, so he wanted to try and make a throw on Kipnis, and I think he just misplayed the ball. That's what he did.
They're going to give Brantley a sacrifice and an RBI.
I agree with that.
But the error will be charged to Rosario, who just flat misplayed it.
I agree with that call. He was trying to sit back. He has a good arm, but he just booted that ball. I give Brantley the sacrifice and an error. So
that's going to be it for Fernando Abad. Paul Molitor going to make a pitching change. And the Indians have scored 3 times now here in the 5th inning. Brantley's at second, still only 1 out, and the Indians lead it 5-3. in the lights, or just plain not really reading the ball that well?
I don't think he lost it in the lights. It was way too high.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to stay behind the ball and he just misread it. I don't know if that wind is knocking it down out there, but he just misplayed that ball. I don't think there's an excuse out there. But, you know, it was going to be a sack. I don't think he would have had a chance to throw out Kipnis anyway from third base. So what you're doing, you just gave Brantley, you know, 2 bases. Well, see if the Indians can take advantage of it. It's a 5-3 lead. All 5 of those runs are going to go to Barrios.
Mike Napoli was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, struck out his last time up. And how about this? Brantley steals third.
They didn't even watch him. He didn't even pay. Brantley took the first step and he sort of stopped and he had it pegged. Watch. Here he goes. He couldn't believe it that he stopped. He kept going. No chance for Suzuki. 2nd stolen base of the night for the Indians, and the first for Michael Brantley,
and the Twins have to bring the infield in again. And Napoli swing and a miss. It's 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. And Duncan missing with the fastball. It's 2-2.
right here. They've been trying to elevate the fastball of Napoli all series. Oh, nice job.
That's going to be a base hit into center field. Napoli drives home Michael Brantley, and the Indians, with a 4-run 5th inning, have opened it up here against the Twins as they lead now 6-3.
Boy, and he put a nice short swing on that one. That fastball was down a little bit, but look at it. There it was, nice and short. He was looking to put it in play. He got a fastball down middle of the plate. Job well done. So a big inning here for the Indians.
So that unearned run will be charged to Fernando Abad. But it won't go against his ERA thanks to the misplay in left field by Rosario, but it goes on the scoreboard, and that's all the Indians care about. And still only 1 out in the inning, with Napoli at first and Yan Gomes at the plate. And he sends a high fly ball to left. Rosario this time makes the catch without incident. 2 down. Tyler Collins of the Tigers misplayed a ball the other night in Detroit. Not even so sure he misplayed it. He just didn't see it. It just dropped.
He lost it in the twilight.
Yeah. And, the fans got on him, and he gave him the single finger salute, and he was sent back to the minor leagues today. Now, Detroit manager Brad Osmus said it had nothing to do with that. It was simply a move they had to make because Francisco Rodriguez was coming off the bereavement list. Anyway, Tyler Collins is in Toledo.
Well, it actually ended up
pop foul. Sano.
That one stays in play.
Can't get to it.
No, could never get down towards that dugout. Got on the railing. Zimmerman was pitching that day, and it ended up costing him his shutout string, where, you know, he was starting in his 4th game for him, and he hadn't given up an earned run yet. Now it ended up costing him a run.
And Collins did profusely apologize after the game for his actions and said,
but it's just not
I lost it, I snapped, you know.
No excuse, in my opinion. You know, you messed up.
High fly ball, left center field. Rosario again makes the catch. That'll end the inning, but the Indians finally break through against the Twins with a 4 spot here in the 5th inning, and they lead it 6-3. And we've got you covered with the Drennan Live Draft Special. Starting at 7:30, Bruce will talk with you about what's going on at the draft, and Ashley Collins will be in Berea to bring you all the updates from Browns HQ. Drennan Live Draft Special presented by the Cleveland Metro Parks. Josh Tomlin will go to work here in the home half of the 5th. He's set down 10 Twins hitters in a row, and now Kurt Suzuki to lead it off. Takes a strike, and Tomlin now working with a 6-3 lead.
You know, and that's what happens. You know, he gives up 3 in the first, but he came out, had a quick second. That offense had an opportunity to get him back in the game. Now they give him the lead, and see if he can just stay in rhythm, man. Retire, get your outs, get your offense back into the dugout.
That's hit hard left center. Nate went over to try and cut it off. He will. And Suzuki is aboard with a leadoff single for Minnesota.
Well, come on out to Progressive Field next week. We return home after this road trip. We have Monday off, and we come back home. We're going to face the Detroit Tigers. Of course, the Indians. We swept the Tigers in Detroit last weekend. Should be another nice series. Go to Indians.com and get your tickets.
Josh Tomlin has thrown a ton of strikes here tonight. .32 out of 48 pitches have been strikes for Tomlin. Eddie Rosario struck out at his only time up. And one big mistake in the outfield. Maybe a double play ball. Kipnis goes to second. There's one. Lindor tries to turn 2. But the flip from Kipnis to Lindor was just too long to try and turn 2 there. They did what they could. Just
yeah, that's a long backhanded flip. Rosario gets down the line. Okay, you're not going to turn it. You'd have to get a lot closer and get that little shovel pass up there. A little too long of a flip to turn it.
So 1 on 1 out for Danny Santana. who doubled and scored in the first, flied out his last time up. Ball gets away for the second time tonight. And Rosario's going to hit second, go for 3. Here's Kipnis' throw, and it is close, but he is called safe. Throw was a little bit offline. If that's online, I think they had him nailed.
I want to see what happened at first. I don't know if he handcuffed Napoli over there, or was it up into the runner again? He already had an error earlier by a wild throw at first base. Napoli's sitting there.
Hit his glove.
Yeah, from that angle, it was hard to tell, but it gets by him. And he does get the foot into third base. It was close. See, that's the second error of the night. I'm not sure who they gave it to. That one again is on Tomlin. So the second error of the night on Josh.
Boy, an opportunity for the Twins to get a gift run now. If they can get Rosario home from third. The 1-1 is a base hit in the right field, and the Twins get a run right back here, and it's a 6-4 ball game. As Danny Santana has his second hit of the night.
Okay, so they get him in from third base. He goes out and hits a pretty darn good pitch from Tomlin. Pulls it into right field. So it's now a 6-4 game.
And Brian Dozier to the plate, 0 for 2 tonight. Tried to bunt his last time up, leading off the third. He popped one up to the catcher, Yan Gomes.
Yeah, as you say, he did the Indians a favor.
Tomlin began the inning having retired 10 in a row. But now the Twins with a couple of hits here in the fifth, coupled with a throwing error by Josh. They're on the board. Gomes with a quick throw to first, but Santana back in time. McAllister starting to get loose. Tomlin's just over 50 pitches though on the night. And there's a strike. Now the 2-1, a little bit high, 3 balls and a strike. And a good off-speed pitch by Tomlin. breaking ball in for a strike.
Be interesting to see if they want. If Molitor wants to start the runner now, full count. You have the 1 out. You know, Tomlin not really a strikeout pitcher. You put the ball in play. You figure Dozier, he's been swinging the bat pretty well. Last 6 games, they start him.
There goes the runner and a foul back.
I figured they would. You get your guy going. If he hits it on the ground, you can stay out of a double play. It's only a 2-run game. We're in the middle part of the ball game. You still have to be aggressive. Although Tomlin is tough to run on, you're banking that your hitter is going to put the ball in play.
Runner goes, and Dozier with a long drive to deep left field, and it's caught right up against the wall by Brantley. And Santana will have to scamper all the way back to first. 2 down on a long fly ball out.
Did you see Dozier over there when he get to first base? I think he thought that ball was out of here. He can't believe it. I want to see the reaction. I thought when it left the bat, it had a pretty good chance, but you can see Brantley right at the base of the wall. Watch Dozier. He can't believe it. Well, he went from a tie ball game to having 2 outs.
I don't know what the wind effect on the ball is.
It's hard
here
to tell because even when you look at the flags up top, are they blowing out?
I don't know. They're blowing every which way but loose, but in
Yeah.
right field they're hanging limp.
Yeah,
I mean, that's strange.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's hard to tell what it's doing out on the field.
2 down for Joe Mauer. And a strike called. New York Mets have now won 6 in a row. Neil Walker hit his 9th home
really?
run. Guy's on fire.
Yeah, he's off to a tremendous start.
And the guy that the Mets traded to get Neil Walker, Jonathan Neese, trying to go to 4-0 for the Pirates tonight in Colorado. They handed him a 7-0 lead. He just gave up 4 in the 4th, so that game far from over. Mauer with a fly ball to right field. Bird is there. He puts it away, and that ends the inning. Twins get a run back. We played 5 in the Twin Cities. The Indians lead it 6-4. District Ticket, presented by Sports Time Ohio, is back. It includes your first drink. So grab your friends, catch the game from the corner or the new drink rails in left field. District tickets are available only online at Indians.com/district ticket. Hey, whatever it takes to stay warm tonight.
He looks like he's part of big time wrestling there.
That Iron Man, Ultraman. Marlon Byrd takes a fastball for a strike. Byrd 0 for 2 is flied out and struck out tonight. He'll be followed by Tyler Naquin, then top of the order Carlos Santana. And he sends a high pop, shallow right. In comes Arcia. And the masked man makes the catch.
Speaking of masked man.
So one away for Tyler Naquin. Hi-yo, Silver, away. Naquin has had a good night. He walked and scored in the third. He singled and scored in the fifth inning.
Got an 8-game streak now.
Shows bunt, but the pitch is outside for ball 1. And Naquin swings through it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pulls a breaking ball foul. Eric Hosmer had a 2-run homer in the first inning tonight for Kansas City. They lead the Angels in Anaheim 2-0 in the third. I still can't get over them. Atlanta has hit 4 home runs, and it's almost the very end of April.
Hard to believe for a major league club. You're right. Well, you knew they were starting from scratch, or a lot of trades. They traded off everybody, and you expected them that they were going to have a tough year, but that's a really tough year. That new ballpark they're building better be small, and if they're not hitting home runs, better be smaller than where they're playing right now. And we will be down there, won't we?
Yeah.
Later on in the year.
Interleague play will send the Indians to Atlanta. The 3-2, and Naquin fouls it back. I mean, the Indians aren't exactly steel softball when it comes to hitting home runs, but Mike Napoli has 4 himself.
Yeah.
And Naquin again, a foul back. Here's another example for you. Jose Ramirez and Rajay Davis
have as many.
Have combined to hit 3 home runs. So going into tonight, the Braves had 3 home runs as a team, as many as Rajay and Jose Ramirez combined.
Well, that's rare.
Another 3-2. I'll tell you, Naquin's had, this is his second really good at bat.
He's hanging in there, man. He's doing a nice job.
Now, last time up, he got a base hit. Not that it wasn't a good at bat, but it was 3-0. He took a strike, and then on the 3-1 pitch, he lined a base hit in the left field. But that first time up, like this one, he worked the count, fouled some pitches off, ended up drawing a walk. Another 3-2 and another foul ball, and Michael Tonkin is just about exasperated right now. This will be the 11th pitch.
Well, that was like Michael Brantley going back last inning when he worked that sacrifice fly. He had, I think, a 10-pitch at bat. Now we're looking at Naquin. He has an 11-pitch at bat.
And he finally pumped one by him. 2 down.
You know, you go back to last inning. Let's look at that at bat. The sequence: curveball, strike one, and then he missed. He's down in the count 1-2, and then Michael goes to work with the magic wand. He is throwing everything, including the kitchen sink at him. Tried to get him to chase a pitch down there. Line one foul. Fastball other way. It goes as a sacrifice fly. Goes as an error. But Michael did a wonderful job to get that run home, didn't he? I think that's just what he could use up there. A nice long at bat. It was against a tough left-hander, and he ended up winning the battle.
Because you can take all the BP you want, but you need that
when you're in
game experience.
When you're in the batter's box and you get a feel and the likes, and you know he's fouling off pitches. He may not want to swing. When he's in mid-season form, he may have taken a couple of those pitches that he swung at to foul off, but he wasn't going to take that called third with a man on third and less than 2 outs. So to me, great job. Those are good at bats you grind out. Even if you make an out in those at bats, there's still you win. You win that sequence even if you don't get a hit.
Santana fouling one back into the seats. And it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 down. Santana in the leadoff spot. On base all 3 times tonight. Has scored 2 runs and he's stolen a base. So that means he's now 5 for 10 in this series. And this road trip has just all of a sudden turned him around offensively.
That's turned him around offensively, and it's turned him around on the road. He was having a tough go for it on our first road trip, but boy, for whatever reason, hey, it doesn't matter. I know people will look and say Santana's not a leadoff hitter, but you know what? It got Jason Kipnis going last year too when he got put into the leadoff spot.
When this road trip started, Santana was batting $174. He's up to 263 right now, and he just launches one to deep right field, and this baby is off the wall. Santana will scream into second base headlong with a 2-out double, and he's 3 for 3 on the night.
I'll tell you, you can't take him out of the spot when a guy starts hitting like that. He did it in Detroit, and then we're going to do it again here when Michael Brantley joined this team, and then we're going to put Michael in the 4-hole, and Santana continues to hit. 4 times he's been on base tonight, and he drew his first walk too as a leadoff guy.
Jason Kipnis takes it's a called strike. Kipnis cuts and misses. Two down with Santana in scoring position. And he certainly looked fine running to second base there.
Yes, he did. He sure did.
Whatever happened earlier in the game seems to be okay. Way outside. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. And that will end the inning. So we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. And the Indians leading it 6-4. and the Indians lead it 6-4. Josh Tomlin has made 2 errors tonight, both on throws over to first base. The first error in inning number 1 didn't hurt him because that runner did not score that went to third on his errant throw. But last inning, that error cost him an unearned run. And that's the first unearned run allowed by the Indians this year.
Last team to give one up, I believe.
High fly ball, shallow right. In comes Marlon Byrd to make the catch. They are the last team in Major League Baseball to give up an unearned run this year, and the 18 games to start a season without allowing an unearned run is the longest streak to start a season for the Indians since at least 1913.
No kidding.
We would not kid about something so serious as that.
As unearned runs, you're right, because
that ball is hammered, and I don't think it's coming back.
Boy, that guy has some good power. He's got
Young Ho Park with his 5th home run of the year, and it's a 1-run game at 6-5.
He takes a healthy swing every time up, and when he can extend, he likes that ball. Let's see what the pitch is. Boy, that was another like a little cutter that stayed middle of the plate, and you can see the power he generates. It was a little too much of the plate, and he hit it off the wall. The batter's eye out there in center field, and I think that's going to do it for Josh Tomlin. He will go 5 1/3 innings tonight. Give up 6 hits.
Kyle Crockett, excuse me, is the new Indians pitcher. We'll be right back. Here in Minnesota because the Twins just keep swinging the bats. They've done a nice job all series long against the Indians. They had the early 3-0 lead. The Indians went ahead 6-3. Now Minnesota's within a run of tying it up. And the new Cleveland pitcher is Kyle Crockett, left-hander. Crockett, 25 years old, at AAA Columbus this year. He pitched 6 times out of the pen, had a 1.29 ERA with just 3 strikeouts in his 7 innings of work, only 5 hits allowed. Right-handed hitters were only 2 for 17 against him. So that certainly bodes well. I mean, obviously you think of him as a matchup left-hander, but
well, I'm thinking that's what he's doing right here is matching up, because I still see Zach McAllister throwing in the bullpen. Well, I don't know if he's going to stay on for more than one hitter here.
Tomlin goes 5 1/3. 5 runs, 4 earned tonight. Crockett just painted the outside corner. Perfect pitch. And it's 1-2.
You see McAllister, and then Fiend is up in the Twins bullpen. He's out there getting loose.
Boy, Arcia almost went down looking at that pitch. This looked like his back foot was anchored and he couldn't get it out of the dirt. Awkwardly came out of his toe hold. Now the 2-2 from Crockett. And he blew it by him. Good fastball up and in. And there are 2 down, and that's going to do it. Crockett faces 1 batter. And now Terry Francona will go to Zach McAllister.
Just our Circle K strikeout. Comes back, he threw that little breaking ball, and then he comes back and rides a fastball upstairs, gets Arcia to swing at it. So Crockett comes on, does his job, gets the 1 out, and it's back to Zach McAllister coming in.
This 1-run game after Kyle Crockett struck out the only hitter he faces tonight. 10th appearance of the year for McAllister. And with 2 down, he'll be facing Eduardo Nunez, who is 0 for 2 on the night. McAllister's first appearance since he gave up the walk-off home run to Oswaldo Arcia in the series opener here in Minneapolis. Low and away, ball 1. And Nunez takes a look, and it's 2-0. High pop out of play right side. McAllister delivers the 2-1, and a fastball is beat into the ground. Ramirez trying to get it out of his glove, can't do it. And Nunez is aboard with the 2-out swinging bunt single.
Well, as Ramirez is coming in on this ball, even if he fields it cleanly, it would have been awfully tough for him to throw it out. But on the transfer, he couldn't get it out of the glove, so it'll go as a hit for Nunez. So it'll be a 2-out single. That's the tying run aboard. He's going to end up facing Suzuki now. Just like the swing and bunt right there when the infield's playing deep, 2 outs.
Swung out, a foul right back by Suzuki. There's another guy that's kind of been a thorn for the Indians. He has 1 hit tonight, but previously 2 hits in the series, and both hits drove in runs for Minnesota. He's one of those guys, you look at his stats and you look at his numbers and you think, well, he shouldn't be much of a problem, but when the Indians match up against the Twins, he seems to find a way to get a key hit. Nunez, the runner at first, has 4 stolen bases for Minnesota, but he's also been caught twice. He's running. Pitches, throw down. Safe is the call. I never saw Laz Diaz make the call at the plate, so we'll check the count. But Nunez has his 5th stolen base on the year.
Well, let's look at the pitch. It's maybe a little low. Gomes makes a nice throw, but you can see that the hand of Nunez got in there before the tag. Kipnis could apply. He kept the foot and the hand on the base. So there's the tying run in scoring position, and it says on the scoreboard a 1-1 count.
Indians haven't given up many steals this year. It's only the 5th allowed by the Indians this year. Redbird said that's tied for the fewest in the league. Drilled to right. Back goes Bird. Makes the catch. Ends the inning. But the home run by Park has put Minnesota within a run of the Indians as we go to the 7th in Minneapolis. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And by Ford, built Ford tough.
Well, season tickets offer the best perks, including savings and access to Tribe Rewards. And today's Tribe Rewards TV code is Lindor. You can visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details.
Minnesota has a new pitcher. It's right-hander Casey Fiend. His 11th appearance on the year. Those numbers don't look pretty, but the other day he came in and in 2/3 of an inning struck out the only 2 hitters he faced and looked overpowering.
Everything was a fastball away, if I remember correctly. He didn't mess around, just went to the outside part of the plate, threw nothing but fastballs.
Francisco Lindor, with 3 runs batted in on the night, takes, it's called a strike. That gives Frankie 11. Make that 9 runs batted in now on the year. Carlos Santana leads the team with 11. Actually, he was tied with Yan Gomes. Both of those guys. And now Mike Napoli picked up his 11th tonight. So a trio with 11 ribbies. Foul back, out of play. This was a big hit because this got the Indians on the board. Got some good mojo going in that 3rd inning.
That was a good job because not only did he get the run in, he got the man over to 3rd base and ended up scoring on the sacrifice fly as well.
Outside with that pitch, it's 2-2. And the 2-2 offering is a swing and a miss. So in the series, Casey Fiend has faced 3 batters and he struck all 3 of them out.
Well, he comes back and he throws the fastball by him. There it is. It's a fastball right there. It had plenty of plate. He's been staying off the edges, but you can see that one pretty much center cut.
Well, up comes Michael Brantley. Indians leading it by a run here in the 7th. We were about 35 minutes late starting here tonight because of rain in the Twin Cities.
You know, but if we looked at it like yesterday, we thought we had no chance. Everybody was saying, oh my goodness, it's going to start and it's never going to stop. And you know, it's been, other than being pretty cold and a little windy, the rain has stayed away.
Yeah. Calling for more rain later tonight.
Yeah, the Twins, as like the Indians, will have tomorrow off.
In tight. And it's 2-1.
And then the Tigers will come to town as the Indians head to Philadelphia.
Brantley's got his first hit of the year, a base hit in the left field.
That last at bat locked him in. That was something key for him. Steps right up, and there's the patented Brantley swing. You know what? Let me get that fastball and get my base hit. Stayed on it, and that's where he starts working. He'll work over there for maybe 4 or 5 games, and by the time we get back to Cleveland, it'll be up the middle, and then he'll start pulling a few balls.
One out base runner now for Mike Napoli. When Brantley was up in the 5th inning, his fly ball that was misplayed, he ended up at second base. Then he stole third and came home on a base hit by Mike Napoli. Picked up his 11th RBI on the year. It's probably not a given that Brantley would try to steal here, but you never know.
Well, Michael is very subtle. You know, he takes off only when nobody's expecting him to. He's had a great percentage over the last few years.
I think he only got caught once last year.
Yeah. And I mean, he's just a very high percentage guy. He took off to get third base today, and just perfect timing.
Knocked him straight up. Mauer, the first baseman, coming over near the railing, and that one ends up out of play.
You know, after watching that, remember we talked about that ball in left field. The ball, it looks like the wind is pushing it back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it did look like it pushed that back into the seats.
Very well could be the case, because you think about the ball Dozier hit that
Yeah.
he thought
That's what I was thinking.
He hit out of here, and
Yeah.
then Brantley caught it up against the wall and left. Baltimore snapped a 3-game skid. They beat Tampa 3-1 to maintain the top spot in the AL East. Napoli has smashed to short. They go to second for one, on to first. A double play. Stretch time in Minneapolis. Indians still leading it 6-5. Bottom of the 7th. Stop Yannick. Stop that.
Yeah, that little late start.
Eddie Rosario, Danny Santana, Brian Dozier due up for Minnesota. Zach McAllister got the last out in the 6th inning. He'll stay on to start the 7th with Ross Detweiler, left-hander, up in the Cleveland pen. Assuming Detweiler's going to match up with Mauer, should Mauer come to bat here. Got by McAllister, and it's going to be a base hit for Rosario. And Minnesota gets the tying run aboard to start the inning.
You know, if it gets past McAllister there, Kipnis gets it easily, but he deadens the ball. Let's see if he had a chance to catch it. Oh, yeah, he did. You know, sometimes the pitchers, they think it's hit a little bit harder, and he just wasn't able to catch that ball, and he took enough off of it where it ends up going as an infield single.
Tribe looks for the bunt. Santana, though, has 2 hits tonight and 6 hits in the series. If I'm Paul Molitor, I don't know that I want him bunting here.
No, I don't know if he will.
Bunts are right up in the air. McAllister makes a diving catch, and that's out number 1. So he mishandled the little comebacker, but he laid out like a center fielder and made a fine catch
Well,
here.
as tall as he is, he could have got that ball almost near home plate. He popped it up, and here he comes. Help his cause. This time he was going to make sure he catches the ball. He does, gets the first out.
Ate a little turf in the process. And so it brings up Brian Dozier, who's 0 for 3 tonight. And that's outside, ball 1. Dozier 4 hits in the series, but so far tonight only 1 ball has left the infield, and that 1 ball almost tied the game back in that 5th inning. Instead, Michael Brantley caught it up against the wall, and McAllister evens the count with a fastball for a strike. If Dozier gets aboard, we will see Detweiler to face Mauer. Or I should say, as long as he doesn't hit into a double play, put it that way.
Well, all 3 of Dozier's hits last night came to right field. You know, from the right side of second base and over.
Runner goes. Dozier pops it up. Center field, Naquin. Make the catch, and there are 2 down. Well, looks like Terry's not going to go to his left-hander. So he'll stay with McAllister to face Mauer. Can't imagine why else Detweiler would have been up. But he'll stay in the pen. Two balls and no strikes.
Gomes behind the plate, letting everybody know 2 outs. The scoreboard has 1. He's just letting everybody know we got 2 outs, boys. Let's get it.
There's a good pitch outside edge, but again, Mauer in this situation, he's looking for 1 pitch only. And he might be looking for something away. You never know with a guy like that. But
yeah, but you know what? That's like a little breaking ball on the outside part. Good location. He's not going to bite at it. When this guy keyholes, he really tightens it up. You know, like some hitters will be a little more aggressive. Not Joe Mauer.
Three balls and a strike.
You rarely go out of the zone here. He spit on that second slider that was out in the same spot.
Well, I'm not saying you got to groove one or challenge him belt high, but you can't afford to just walk him and then put the tying run in scoring position here either. Foul back, full count.
He was looking for that fastball and he took a rip at it. Yeah, see, check with the umpire. Was that a strike? Bass says it certainly was. I like your line, like Jill says, well, when I used to swing it and foul it off, it was a strike for me.
Such a tough guy to defend because he uses the whole field. Runner goes, and it's ball 4. So McAllister playing with fire as the walk pushes the tying run Rosario into scoring position for Miguel Sano, who drove in a run back in the first inning with an RBI double. Sano's RBI in the first inning gives him 10 on the year. And he takes high for ball 1.
Cutter he started him off with. He watched Sano hit a fastball from Cody Allen last night, so he started him off with a cutter. There's the fastball.
One ball, one strike. And another timeout. Let's go, boys. Holmes does a nice job to block that, and
boy, he sure did.
Rosario has to stay right there at second base. Not so much worried about Rosario going to third as you are about Bauer getting to second base, because that's the go-ahead run now.
There's the slider, but look, you see the protection. It hit the chest protector and just deflects off a little bit to his right, but he's able to get it before anybody can advance. You're right. That's the go-ahead run on first base. We'll see here, 3-2 or 2-1 count. If Sano's looking for that heat.
And foul back.
He got it. He took a swing at it.
McAllister comes set. The 2-2 pitch is outside, and now full count. So the runners are going to get a head start. Gung Ho Park waiting on deck. He homered his last time up to make this a 1-run game. And still, the only guy up in the Indians bullpen is the left-hander, Ross Detweiler. Here's the set. And McAllister's payoff pitch is outside, ball 4. He's walked the bases loaded. And now he's going to face the big guy, Gung Ho Park. Mickey Callaway's going to go out first for a chat. This inning began with a little comebacker by Rosario that McAllister mishandled. Then Santana popped up, Dozier flied out, and with 2 outs he walked Joe Mauer, working carefully to him, and then he couldn't throw strikes to Sano, walked him, and loaded up. Nowhere to put Park with the tying run 90 feet away. And the go-ahead run now for Minnesota is in second base. And the last time up, Park crushed the ball in straightaway center field. It's his 5th home run on the year. He also has 2 doubles in this series. So we've seen flashes of his talent. He hits the ball hard.
Yes, he can. You don't want to make a mistake middle of the plate away. He seems to like it out there a little bit. He crushed that. It was an off-speed pitch, either a cutter or a hanging breaking ball by Tomlin that he hit. Went 444 feet to straightaway center field. Indians looking for that 3rd out.
Threw it by him. Good fastball at 95. Now we got a right-hander getting loose alongside Detweiler in the Indians' pen. But for all intents and purposes, this is the only at-bat that matters. 1-1. Because if Park connects, the Twins are going to have the lead, and the proverbial horses will be out of the barn. Jabba Chamberlain is the right-hander getting loose beside Detweiler. McAllister has Park down on the count. Can he put him away right here with a 1-2 pitch? High fastball, and a good job by Park to lay off. We've seen hitters, especially with 2 strikes, unable to lay off that high fastball. But he did not, and now I think the pressure kind of swings back to McAllister. He does not want to go to 3-2. He came back with a high fastball, and Park couldn't help himself. He strikes him out to end the inning, and the Twins leave him loaded. And it will go to the 8th inning with the Indians still in front by a run.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Well, the Indians get out of a tough spot there, but we're still only going to the 8th inning. So plenty of baseball left here at Target Field, and the Indians could use some insurance runs. I don't know about you, but it feels like the temperature's dropped about 10 degrees in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, as it started to drizzle again.
Yeah, it looks like the wet stuff is falling.
It sure has. That may be turning into snow.
Yan Gomes sends a pop-up to the right side.
Well, come on out to Progressive Field next weekend when the Indians are going to host the World Series champion Kansas City Royals for the first time this year. All-stars Eric Hosmer and Salvador Perez lead Kansas City. It'll be against the smile of Francisco Lindor and the return of Michael Brantley to home. Go to Indians.com and get your tickets.
Up and away, ball one to Jose Ramirez, who is 1 out of 3 tonight. The 2-1 to Jose, and he bloops one into left field for a base hit. His second knock of the night. Give him 4 hits in the series.
Well, he got his hit the other way. Just take that fastball away, stay on it. He does just that. Good job. Stayed on top of the baseball, hit a line drive, got a base hit. Hit number 10 for the Indians tonight.
Well, last inning the Indians had a 1-out single, and then Mike Napoli hit into an inning-ending double play. Let's see what Marlon Byrd can do here with 1 on 1 out. We'll also see if Jose Ramirez might try to steal a base. Byrd has flied out twice, struck out once.
Casey Fiend pretty quick to home plate if you're thinking of running.
Slow chopper hit to third. Sano, bare hand grab and throw, and he got him. What a hose. What an arm.
And I'll tell you, very accurate. That was a really pretty athletic play there. The big man, you don't expect him to go down and get that ball. He comes up and fires a seed to first base.
It's a guy who missed an entire year a couple seasons ago with Tommy John surgery. Rare for an infielder or position player.
Bro,
that arm is healed nicely.
Boy, I'll say, right on the money. Ramirez does get himself in scoring position.
And the batter is Tyler Naquin, who struck out his last time up, but he's walked and hit, singled and scored twice tonight. Out of play. Casey Fiend has done a nice job coming out of the bullpen once again here tonight for Minnesota. Just about everything else is a final tonight except for the West Coast games. White Sox shut out Toronto 4-zip. Tigers beat Oakland 9-4 in Detroit. Baltimore ended their skid beating Tampa 3-1. Swung out and missed. Yankees lost to Texas 3-2. That was CC Sabathia who took the loss in that game for New York. Pitched well, but Yankees didn't score.
Yeah,
for
3
him
runs
tonight.
in that ballpark. Not bad out in Texas.
About the Phillies, we're going to Philadelphia, start a series Friday. They shut out the Nationals in D.C. today, 3-0. Off the glove into the backstop. Down to third goes Ramirez on the wild pitch.
Well, this one just gets away from Fiend as he throws it to the backstop. Off the glove of Suzuki.
Casey Fiend. He fires, and that's inside. So another pretty good AB for Tyler Naquin here. Fiend steps away with Jose Ramirez down at third and 2 down in the inning. Indians leading it by a run. There is Jose Ramirez looking for a ball in the dirt maybe. Naquin strikes out. That'll end the inning. We'll move to the bottom of the 8th where the Indians lead the Twins 6-5. Looking back at our keys to the game, brought to you by Mazda. Jose Barrios pitched well, but the Indians got to him. He used a lot of pitches early in the ball game, and the Indians chased him in the 5th. And Josh Tomlin did not have the feel and command that we're so used to seeing. He had his troubles. He gave up 3 in the 1st and wobbled through it, but then he got into a groove and retired 10 straight. But then after giving up the home run to Park in the 6th inning, that was it. Brian Shaw facing Oswaldo Arcia. Now the Indians bullpen tonight has not allowed a run. So they've done a nice job to this point. Kyle Crockett, Zach McAllister, now Brian Shaw. But obviously in a 1-run game there's very little margin for error.
Yeah, Zach had to work hard to get through last inning after the leadoff single. And it ended up with a couple of walks, but he ended up making a big strikeout against Park. Yes, he did. No.
The appeal, Doug Eddings said he held up.
He elevated. That's a good pitch. Arcia likes the ball down. He got ahead of him. 0-2, so he tried to go upstairs and get him to swing at it.
That's fouled back into the seats. A lot of empty seats here tonight. 17,746 on a brittle, damp evening in Minneapolis. Bounced and got a big chunk of Yan Gomes as it carried back into the Twins dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Upstairs, a full count.
Okay, from 0-2 to 3-2 now.
Swung out and missed. He struck him out. So Brian Shaw worked the count full, but ends up getting his man 1 away. Our play of the game, courtesy of Pat O'Brien, and I guess you could say the game's on the line here when you've got a 1-run lead and the bases loaded.
Steady diet of fastballs. He tried to elevate it. He goes right back with that high fastball and got the swing and miss. I like it. He was pumped up. He made a good pitch there. He didn't get him to swing the first time, but he went right back to it, and he got him to chase that second fastball.
Brian Shaw and Cody Allen came into tonight's game with ERAs respectively of 12.27 and 7.27. But at least Yan Gomes, for one, said, look, those 2 guys are going to be in there when the game's on the line every time for us. They have a track record of doing really well. And Terry Francona kind of echoed those sentiments. It's like, you know, the problem is early in the season you have a couple of bad outings and the numbers look ugly, but it's not like we can just bail on those guys and, you know, use somebody else.
Those are the back end guys on this bullpen. It doesn't matter. You throw the ERAs out. You need holds. You need saves from these 2 guys. They have the lead tonight. This is a game they must win to at least get 1 in this series. Shaw was not able to pitch last night. Back in there tonight. You need the hold. Yeah, it's not like, okay, you gave up a few hits, we're not going to bring you in, we're going to bring somebody else in. These are the setup guys, the 8 and 9 inning guys, and he gets the strikeout.
Nunez down swinging, 2 away. It is a bottom line profession when you're an 8th inning or a 9th inning guy. If you're a closer, I mean, it's result oriented. So you can give up 3 or 4 hard hit rockets as long as you get 3 outs and get out of the inning, or as long as you get the save. Nobody cares.
Right.
Unfortunately for the Indians, and you talked about it earlier, for Cody it's been not so much the save situations, but those tie games.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's like I guess it's similar to a field goal kicker in football. He's the hero when he kicks that field goal, and he's a bum when he doesn't, and he misses it.
And as Matt Barr, the legendary kicker for the Browns during the 1980s, used to say, you're only as good as your next kick.
Yeah.
You
blow one, you got to come right back and make the next one.
That's the mentality you have to have.
Sure.
If you're looking backwards, you're done.
They say short memories and all that, but it's how you respond after you have a hiccup. And it happens to every single one in baseball. You name it, it happens.
The 1-1 pitch. Foul back. 1-2 the count. Well, look at this Twins bullpen. I mean, I'm sure there were people looking at some of the ERAs and some of the guys' early outings. You got to get this guy out of here. Casey Fiend.
Well, what happens? They're all out of position now because Glenn Perkins is on the disabled list, and he's their closer. And when your closer's not in there, it does throw the rest of your bullpen out of whack. And you can understand it a little more so, but it doesn't save you from the fans from beating you up when you have a bad outing.
Nice outing by Brian Shaw. He sets him down 1-2-3, couple of strikeouts, and we go to the 9th with the Indians up a run. More runs here. Maybe a little breathing room would be nice. We'll see if they can cash in with Mr. Santana leading off once again. The new pitcher for Minnesota is right-hander Trevor May. Casey Fiend 2 scoreless, couple of hits, couple of strikeouts. Carlos Santana has been perfect on the night. He is 3 for 3 with a walk. He has scored 2 runs. Takes a strike. 6 hits in the series for Carlos, who's bumped that batting average to $174 when the road trip began, up to $254 now.
that's the thing. When you get into the first month of the season, you get a little streak. You get a week going where you have a good week like Carlos has done. And you get back up to respectability.
Wow. Hit hard, but with the outfield deep, Arcia makes the catch, one away. Well, he hit it right on the screws. He kind of liked that.
Yes, he did.
It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Well, speaking of Carlos Santana, you're going to watch his 3 hits today. A couple of singles, a double. He also walked. He scored a couple of runs. The new leadoff man. At least he has been on this road trip, and I don't see Tito taking him out anytime too soon. Although we are going into the National League Park. The pitcher does have to hit. So does Santana stay in there and play? You know, what happens? We'll have to wait and see. We have an off day tomorrow.
Yeah.
But he's been DHing. And again, it always happens to the American League club. You get to go to those National League times and your DH gets punished.
Yeah, I was trying to think. Did Boston just play in Atlanta?
Yes, there was 2-2, so then now they're back in Boston.
Yeah, because Ortiz didn't play. Skipping us down on strikes.
4th time tonight from Jason.
2 down. Raindrops falling here in Minneapolis. Not a heavy rain, but as cool as it is, it can't feel real good for anybody out there on the field. Temperature at game time was 44. Right now it feels like it's in the upper 30s. Chopped to short. Oh, it's kicked by Nunez, and the Indians will keep the inning alive. Lindor just turns and burns, and he'll go into second base standing.
Well, that'll be a 2-base error there. Second error for the Twins. He comes in and just, that ball was hit a little too hard. He tried to catch it on the run instead of getting himself set. And a heads-up play by Lindor to just keep right on running. He's watching the ball, and he knows it trickles away enough where he can go in and get himself in the scoring position. Didn't even have to slide. That's just keeping your eye on the ball, being heads up. So now they have a chance to add on with the 2-out error.
And Michael Brantley, fresh off his first hit of the year, his last time up, will be the batter.
They're not going to pitch to him. How about that for respect? They're going to go after Napoli. And it makes sense. First base is open. Go ahead and walk him and take your chances.
Yeah, you've got the base open, and Brantley, a career .285 hitter against Minnesota. Oh yeah. So Brantley draws a walk, and up comes Mike Napoli, who last night in the 9th inning delivered at the time a big home run for the Indians because it tied the game.
Boy, I'll say they've been pitching him upstairs all series, and that's where they want to pitch him because he's been swinging at it. And he's taken a few pitches, but he was able to get to that one. It tied the ball game, and they promptly gave it right back. But that's how they have pitched him this series, and I'm sure that's how they're going to pitch him all year until they can. There you see a fastball elevated.
Now the 0-1. And that fastball too high for Napoli to do anything with, so he lays off. It's 1-1. Out of play, right side. The 1-2 upstairs. The 2-2 pitch, and Napoli lifts it foul. That's out of play, right side. Francisco Lindor at second base. Brantley at first. The error by Nunez allowing the inning to continue. And now the Indians try to take advantage. There's the 2-2. And it's low, full count. Go, and the payoff pitch is hit foul past Mike Sarma over the third base coach's box.
Boy, now what Napoli wanted to do there, fouled off his body. Looked like it went off his leg.
Those warm heated benches are coming in handy tonight. Lindor and Brantley will take off on the 3-2 pitch to Napoli. And it's popped in the air to the right and out of play. Indians got 2 runs in the third on a 2-run double by Lindor. Then they plated 4 in the 5th to open up a 6-3 lead at that time. But the Twins have come back to close it to a run. Now with the runners going, Napoli fouls.
Well, Napoli's doing just a great job of just staying alive up there, following up pitch after pitch. They continue to try and throw that fastball upstairs, and he's just, look at, he's choking up a little bit, fouling him off.
Oh, this will be the 10th pitch of the at bat. We were talking before, Naquin had
an 11
pitch at bat.
Brantley had a 10 pitch.
Again, the runners go, and the 3-2 is strike 3 called, and Napoli can't believe it. So 2 left to board, and we'll go to the bottom of the 9th as the Indians hope to get out of here with a win. sparsely populated Target Field on a very chilly, rainy night. But the Indians lead it by a score of 6-5, and here in the bottom of the ninth, Cody Allen will try to nail it down for his 7th save. He's 6 out of 6 on the year, and he'll be facing the number 9 hitter, and then 1 and 2 due up for Minnesota. Eddie Rosario, Danny Santana, Brian Dozier are at least the 3 that he will face here tonight. The Indians have had just a miserable last 2 nights here in Minnesota. Watching the Twins walk off in back-to-back games, that hasn't happened for the Indians since the 2011 season, when Fausto Carmona was trying to serve as the Indians closer. They were trying to transition him to the bullpen at that time, and it just blew up at Fenway Park.
And then, what, the first night in Detroit, I think.
And the Indians haven't had 3 straight walk-off losses against them in almost 50 years. As Rosario takes the ball.
The Indians came back in the first 2 games to tie him up late. Home run by Gomes and Napoli, and then they gave it right back. So they have the 1-run lead here. So see if Cody can come back and get his 7th save.
Upstairs 2-0. Eddie Rosario. Just a couple of hits in the series, including a home run. Taking a strike, it's 2-1. There is the 2-1. And a foul back. Rosario was trying to tie it up with one big swing.
Well, we'll see if Cody has the curveball. Last night they were saying, I'm not taking the curveball, I'm just looking for the fastball. But if he has his fastball and he can work that curveball, he should be in business tonight.
And the 2-2 offering is a fastball up out of the zone. Rosario couldn't help himself. He strikes out, 1 down.
Well, he comes back with a high fastball, and you can see he gets the swing at it. Now let's go up high and take a look at it, right on the outside edge and elevate it. So that was a really good pitch by Cody.
Here is Danny Santana with 2 hits tonight, 6 in the series. He doubled and scored in the first, drove in a run in the 5th.
There's the hooky. I like to see that.
In off the plate. Out of play. You know, we talked about it, Rick, how it's those non-save situations that have ballooned his ERA. When he's pitched in save situations, his ERA is 1.42.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's,
for whatever reason, it's hard to say. We see it happen all year long, and people keep saying, well, why do you bring in your closer in a tie game and you're not leaving? Because sometimes you do. You bring in your best pitcher where it gives you your best opportunity.
oh, right back through the box. Cody is beside himself because he felt like he had a chance to make a play on that ball, and it just got by his glove. And now the tying run aboard for Minnesota.
Well, he comes back with the curveball and just out of his reach. You know, his body was there, his arm just wasn't long enough.
Yeah.
He needed either a longer glove or a longer arm. That ball rolls into center field. The 9th hit now for the Twins, so they get the tying run aboard, and that brings Dozier up. And how about a ground ball double play? Leave number 7 in the on-deck circle.
Dozier 0 for 4 on the night. And that's ball 1. Rain starting to fall a little heavier. So again, for the fielders, more importantly, I guess the outfielders, any ball hit on the ground might be a tad slick, not to mention the footing with the moisture gathering on the ground. And the 1-0. And a good off-speed pitch for a strike to even the count. Now the 1-1. Runner goes, and Gomes throw to second base. Safe is the call. Throw was just a tad higher. I think they would have had him.
They may look at it like they did last night and get the out. Same situation, 9th inning. Santana took off. Throw was there. They tagged him. They overturned it. They called him safe originally. The throw was high. If it's down, they get him. See, Kipnis applies the tag. I'm not sure when. Not sure when he applied that tag from that angle, but no, they're going to stay in the dugout. He was safe.
So Santana with just his 2nd stolen base on the year. As the that was a lot closer than I originally thought it was.
Well, he put it down there. He didn't get the knee, and it wasn't until the foot.
The 2-1. Swung on and missed. Cody blew it by him, and the count evens up.
You watch where the glove comes down. He doesn't tag him till his foot.
Oh, yeah.
You see, he came down, but he missed him. He was outside that tag, so he did get the hand in.
And Dozier awaiting the 2-2. And a foul right back. Cody Allen ready. Here's the 2-2 to Dozier. Oh, a little low and a full count.
He didn't bite. He didn't bite. He did a nice job to lay off the curveball. Cody tried to get him to chase it. He didn't. We now have a full count, but this is the guy you want to get. And if you could get the 2nd out and leave the Santana at second base, you could walk Mauer.
Cody ready. And the 3-2. Popped him up, foul,
That
and
ball's
out
been
of
going.
play.
Yeah, that's going into the seats.
Moments on the Indians bench here in the bottom of the 9th as Cody Allen tries to hang on and close it out. But Dozier having a good at bat here. Again, the 3-2. And he struck him out. 2 down.
Good low heater.
So now you can walk Mauer.
Yep.
And we'll see if that's exactly what the Indians decide to do. You would anticipate that to be the move.
Well, even though Snell got the game winner off Cody last night.
Well,
This is a guy you don't have to maybe intentionally walk him, but this is what Mickey's going to talk to him about. Look, you don't want to give him a pitch that he can hit. He's going to be very selective up there, and he knows you're going to maybe pitch around him.
Well, Yan Gomes said after the game last night it was the right move to walk Mauer and pitch to Sano.
I agree.
You know, Mauer's done it for a long time, and you know, Sano ended up beating him fair and square.
Well, I'd take my chances again. I'd do the same thing. I have no problem walking Mauer. Mauer's hitting .329. He's walked twice tonight. Doesn't have a hit. But this is the guy you don't want to beat you. And he can't beat you, but he can certainly tie this game up with a base hit going to left field.
Well, I'm a little surprised they're not just intentionally putting him on.
Well, that's what Mickey went out to talk to him about. You know, what do you feel about this? Look, here's how you want to go at it. But, you know, a lot of times pitchers, when they do try and pitch around somebody, they can leave you a fat pitch.
And he misses down
There
again.
you go. You go at him early, and if he doesn't swing the bat, which he's going to be patient enough, you end up walking.
1 out of 3 for Mauer.
Yes, he's 1 out of 3 against everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, no kidding.
I want to see somebody. Is he 0 for anybody? Oh, nice backdoor curve.
Get a call. That's nice. Look at, he can't believe it. Stay out there if he wants to call it. I'll tell you what. No, this is the arch cam right there. Not
It's
a
on the
bad.
corner,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
not bad. It looked a little deceiving on the other look, but that camera, something special.
Keep trying. Here's the 1-1. And that's it off the plate.
Arch cam. Well, that's to keep him honest. See if he goes back out there again with that breaking ball. But if you miss off the plate.
And now the 2-1. Oh, another breaking ball.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mauer just wasn't expecting it, because that pretty good pitch.
That was outstanding pitch there. It had sharp break to it. It had plenty of plate. That was right there down the middle. He was, you know, it was fastball in, break a ball away. Fastball in, break a ball away. Let's see what he does here. 2-2 pitch.
Game on the line. Tying run at second base. And with a light rain falling, the 2-2 pitch is swung on and fouled off by Mauer. Nail biter in Minneapolis. And the 2-2 from Cody Allen to Joe Mauer. Popped him up foul and out of play. Off day on Thursday in Philadelphia. 3-game series between the Indians and Phillies will begin on Friday night.
You should say off day today in Philadelphia. It's an hour difference.
Yep. Off day in a few hours. Here is the 2-2 now. And pop back out of play.
This has been a nice sequence between Allen and Mauer. It really has.
Danny Santana is the tying run at second base. And Cody Allen gives him a look. The 2-2 to Mauer. Boy, close, but just missing in a full count.
He's the patience. He laid off of it. He's not anxious. He's not going to go out and try and hit it. You're going to have to make a great pitch to get him out. Remember, first base is still open, but this has been a really good battle between these two guys.
And the 3-2 pitch is swung on and hit to center. Back goes Naquin, makes the catch, and the Indians get out of town with a victory. They take the finale by a final score of 6-5 as Cody Allen holds on for his 7th save of the year. Winning pitcher is Josh Tomlin. He went 5 1/3, and he goes to 3-0 on the year. And the Indians leave town with a mark of 10-9, and Minnesota falls to 7-15. And the tough luck loser today, I guess, is Jose Barrios, the rookie, who had his moments, but he was knocked out after just 4 innings and a couple of